Name's Eddie Clay. I've been driving 8, 9 years. 2 of those years with WEL. I run out of the McDonough terminal. Supposedly Southern Regional, dedicated, stay in the South. But occasionally they'll have somebody drop the ball and they'll know that I'll get the job done, and so they have me, which is what brings me up here to the pier this week. I had to run a load up to just outside Chicago because it was late. I could still get it there on time. I get a lot of that, but I enjoy it, as long as it's not winter time. Driving is something that I've wanted to do ever since I was a little kid. My uncle had a trucking company, and he used to run from the farmer's market in Atlanta. I live in Atlanta, to a farmer's market out in California. He'd take produce out there and bring Christmas trees back. And back then, of course, it was a whole different world. We're talking late 70s, early 80s. That's when trucking was trucking. It was rough, but I loved it. I loved the open road. I loved seeing the country, and it was something that I wanted to do. As I got older, I kind of went down the wrong roads, chasing the girls, going and partying and stuff like that. Truck driver didn't interest me no more. Well, as I've gotten to the age that I am now, I've gotten kind of, I don't want to say that I'm rich, but I'm not worried about paying my bills. So I said, well, what am I going to do with myself? So I said, well, let's try this truck thing, because I've always wanted to do it. Like I say, several years back, I guess about 10 years now, I got my CDLs. I tried it, kind of liked it, didn't like the companies. Companies promise you anything. I don't know how it works on commissions. You get so many through the door, you get tax break. I don't know how that works. But they tell you one thing, you get there and you find out it's a whole different ballgame. It's not like that here. From the moment you talk to that recruiter, to the moment you're put in your truck and you're dispatched, and even after that, you'll find out that everything you're told by every different department is true. But you have to work with them. They're not going to do it for you. If there's a problem, you need to let them know as soon as possible, and they're on it. Whether it be appointment times, whether it be mechanical issues, you can't wait till, as we say, as it has hit the fan, before you call and say, hey, I think I got a problem. As soon as you notice a problem, you need to tell them so they can get on it and get it corrected and keep you moving and keep you productive. I've researched many companies. Like I say, we're having that little bit of money allowed me to, this company, WEL. This company, WEL. This company, WEL. And it always came back to WEL being on top. Well, let's give them a try. I had a buddy that was a trainer here that aggravated me for 1.5 years to come up here. And I'm like, they're in Green Bay. I live in Atlanta. There's thousands of trucking companies down here. Why would I want to go to Green Bay? It's winter. Why would I want to go to Green Bay? I mean, if you come here, I'm telling you, it's a great company. You won't find another company. You'll love it. They're true to their word. They mean what they say. Just come give him a shot, and I promise you, he's a lifelong friend. We went to elementary school, middle school, high school, so it's somebody I've known for a long time. He said, I promise you, if you try it, you won't leave. So I said, all right, fine. After 1 year of researching, coming back to him every time, I said, let's give it a shot. Came up here. First time I came, I had a little bit of an attitude. It's my way or, and it was, no, it's not going to be your way. We'll work with you, but it's not your way. It was more me than it was WEL. A month later, they called me back and we had a different discussion. Of course, my attitude changed. I said, let's give it a shot because y'all seem like y'all might be a really good company. I mean, y'all got that one thing, that core family value. That means a lot. There's been a lot of times my family's needed me, and without hesitation, well, it says head home. Get home, get to your family. Don't worry about the load. We can take care of it. We'll rearrange it, whatever. Get to your family. That's happened a couple of times. I mean, like I say, everything when you're in orientation, there's so much coming at you in such little time that you miss a lot. But if you key in on the things of what they, even what you miss, you find out later, well, that's true. I do remember them saying that. I do remember, as long as the driver does his part, that's the key.
Sure.
You can research any company and review after review after review, you read and you start seeing common patterns. To this day, I still even I work for them. I still occasionally look at the reviews just to see. There was only one bad review that I could find at that time on WEL from someone that came up here, and from reading the review, it was more, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, that it was his own fault as why he had a bad experience with WEL. The way I gathered it, maybe he shouldn't have came up here being in his situation, we'll say. Because, you've got to meet the criteria. You can't lie. They go, and then once they spend the money of flying you up here, hoteling you, putting you through training, and you lied to them from the get-go, But it was only one review that I could find bad. The drivers wishing to make a switch, you've been in the industry, they're going to take care of you, they're a good company, they're family oriented. Never had to doubt my money, never had to question my money. That's a big thing with drivers, They've got two forms of checking your money. They have a WEL app, and then if you look at it and you're like, they've got a secondary thing that breaks the paycheck down that you can go to and look and see. I've never had to go to the second thing to see, am I sure I'm getting paid right this week? I know my money's right every week when I look at it. So for the new drivers, there's a lot more to suggestions for them. You need to get certain apps. You need to be good with math. You need to be able to do good trip planning, because that's key. Because the planners down there are good. Now, my particular DM and my particular planner know me. They know I'm going to start here, and they know I'm going to stop here. Now, I could stop here and split it into two trips. They know I'm going to, they know we've got a relationship. We're like family. So they know what I'm going to do. With the new drivers, there's so much. Just download the WEL app, Driver's Lounge. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Yeah, you're going to receive some flack from some people, just giving you a hard time, but you're going to get a lot of useful information off of there. Download Trucker Path. That'll help you with your truck stops, your rest areas that are along your route. And I can't stress it enough, trip planning. Not just getting from pickup to delivery, but being able to get up from pickup to delivery and back out somewhere to park. Or being able to know how to work that clock. There's ways of working that clock that are legal that a lot of people don't use, if you spent the night at a receiver and it's time for you to deliver, and you've been there and it takes 4 hours for them to unload, don't start your clock the moment they say go back into a door. Start your clock when they get done with you. That's 4 hours you've saved. That's 4 hours you can get on down the road. And they'll learn that if they've got, it just takes a little time. And WEL will help you. You call safety, Well, you started your clock, but you waited 4 hours before you actually departed from this place. They'll help you with that kind of stuff. And, if you're making money, WEL's making money. So if you're not making money, WEL's losing money. And they're there to make sure you succeed, because if you're bottom line, they told me when I was here, even if they've got to come out of their own pocket, like detention is something I get. If the company don't want to pay me, the shipper receiver don't want to pay the detention, WEL has come out of their own pocket to pay me for sitting 10, 12, 14 hours at a place because their contacts told them for me to be there then. Okay, well, my driver was there then. Now he's going to be compensated for being there. Well, we're not doing it. Wells come out of their pocket because at the end of the day, if the driver's happy, the driver's going to be happy about getting his load where it needs to be. He's going to care about load. He's going to care about keeping an eye on that reefer temp, making sure the load stays within range, and he's going to care if the company's caring about him. And here they care about their drivers. They do. Without the drivers, there wouldn't be a company. And they know that. The owners, our drivers themselves, their parent, their dads was drivers themselves, so they know what a driver should expect. They know how a driver should be treated. And I highly recommend it to anybody. I'm constantly online. Recently a company folded up. I think 2 companies just, or with the people net or Omnitrax or whatever, don't come back to work, just in one message. We're closing the doors as of today. That ain't gonna happen here. And WEL actually stuck their hand out to those companies and said, hey, look, we'll get you here, meet the qualifications. Don't be a drunk driver, don't be, don't. If you can meet the criteria, we will get you here and we will take care of you, and they will. They will.